Hey, I'm Matt Nykiel. I'm a board certified plastic surgeon. I do liposuction with fat transfers, also known as butt augmentations, BBLs, Brazilian butt lifts. It's kind of like one of those modern scientific, sci-fi stories, really. It's two procedures in one. So the first procedure is liposuction 360. We turn people in 4 different directions. We really use all that sculpting to sculpt that hourglass. So we will liposuction you laying on your back, on your tummy. We'll actually turn you up on your sides. And all that is used to really core out and sculpt out that frame. Then we take the fat that we sucked out, we actually process it. Usually that means we clean out some antibiotics, we strain it, we separate it from water. You're 60% water, so injecting water in you would look good for a short period of time, but it wouldn't look good for the long run. So then we actually process that fat out, and we take that fat and we inject it. Again, we inject it from the front, from the sides, from the back, because again, we're trying to get that roundness, that fullness of the butt, three-dimensional, 360 degrees around. I think there's 2 main benefits to the Brazilian butt lift, and I think that goes back to the fact that it's 2 procedures. So the first procedure is liposuction, and with liposuction, we're able to really kind of sculpt out that hourglass. So we're able to get that waist in, we're able to get that tummy down, we're able to get that, bring that back in, and really kind of create the sort of first part of that hourglass. The second benefit is we're able to use that fat then to do a couple things. I think the first thing is we're able to build the frame of the butt, and by that I mean some of us have kind of those hip dips, or if we have a more square shaped butt, we actually add fat in the right places to round the butt out, and then we can take that fat to add volume to it. So it's a super powerful procedure that gives you really powerful, awesome results. It's a huge difference. So we're doing, again, it's almost kind of like sci-fi. We're taking fat from places you don't want it, we're putting it in fat in places that you do want it. It's like the best of both worlds. So it differs by the fact a butt implant is an implant. It's not real. It's not a real part of your body. Fat is soft, squishy. It's natural. So we're able to get you a very soft, squishy, natural result. Right? One of the negatives, I think, when you talk about what's the difference between BBLs and butt implants, well, it's soft, squishy, it's natural. So if you were coming in and you're wanting I want a big round butt with a lot of pop, a big shelf, well, that's probably pushing you more in that implant territory. But if you're wanting a nice hourglass, natural, round butt, good volume, nothing crazy, I think that's in that BBL territory. I think a large part of it is we have had a lot of openness from celebrities and from influential people. I think, kind of when our mission statements, we walk it back. We want to empower self-expression. We really believe that, people being honest, transparent, just, doing things for yourself is completely fine. And I think we've started to evolve into a time where it's acceptable for models, actors, actresses, influencers, famous people say, hey, I did this, I did that. So obviously the Kardashians are going to be one of the first people that pop in your head, right? And they were, pretty honest about what's going on, or enough people have sort of figured out what's going on. And I think that really brought it into the light. And then I think the second part is once it brought into light and you kind of realize what it was, and you take a step back and you say, hold on, I want to get this straight. We're going to take fat from like places that looks terrible, my waist, that like the tire around my flanks, that I don't like, and we're going to move it to like places that I do want, my butt, my hips. It's going to round out and give me an hourglass. It's a win-win scenario, and you just don't find many situations like that. And I think, once it became known, and then once you found out what it was, it's just such a beneficial and such a powerful procedure that it's taken off. I think that as far as our plastic surgery procedures, this is probably one of the most powerful procedures that we have, because it does such an amazing job at completely changing someone's torso structure. It's 2 procedures in one again. So that liposuction helps flatten the tummy, helps bring the waist in, helps to really set an hourglass. And then the fat transfer portion really is just kind of that refinement portion where it helps to fill in the hip dips, helps to round out the butt, helps to get that volume. And so we can take someone who was not maybe a little self-conscious about their torso shape, or not happy, or they were in the gym all the time, but they just couldn't achieve the looks that they were doing. And we can really reshape that. We can get an hourglass shape, we can get a round butt, we can get round hips. So it's really crazy. I mean, and it's, from my standpoint, it's actually really cool sometimes. We come in, we do the consult, and the person's kind of quiet, or maybe they're, they have clothes kind of covering themselves. They maybe got, sunglasses on, etc. No makeup, they're being themselves. And then you come in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months down the line, and you walk in and they're bright-eyed. They have, their makeup on. They're super happy. They couldn't be. They're just wearing their how happy and how confident they are on their face. They're in completely different style. Just maybe before it was sort of darker gray, black, white clothes, and now it's just colors. Everything about them has totally changed, and you can just see that they're in some ways wearing their confidence. It's a really cool, very powerful procedure. I would say prior to probably the past 2-3 years, I would say, the best candidates are candidates that have fat in places they don't want it, fat in places where it can go, and we can make a nice change, and they still have good skin elasticity or good skin stretch, so that after we suck that fat out, we can get that skin to sort of tighten back up. And then conversely, I'd say, once that skin starts to get loose, we have other options, but that's when we need to start kind of cutting skin out. And so usually for me, that break point was somewhere around 40, 45, 50, right? But now actually there's tons of new technologies coming out. In our office we have something called J-Plasma/Renuvion. That's basically a skin tightening device. So after we do the liposuction, we've taken the fat's getting processed, it's getting strained. We actually come through with a machine that then we put in the same places that the liposuction was, and we turn on, and it's almost like, I always say plastic surgery isn't like magic, but this kind of almost is like magic. You just watch the skin just start to tighten and firm back up. So that started to really open the door to say, we extend it. I think as long as you're in good, medically safe, healthy conditions, you're a pretty good candidate for this. Yeah.